What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
Forever remember how prohibited it is to stop and park at a crosswalk. It is enough to understand and remember one rule. You can not block the view of drivers approaching the crossing, and endanger pedestrians coming out from behind your car. This, in fact, is required by the rules of the road. Thus, paragraph 12.4 of the traffic rules indicates that stopping is prohibited at crosswalks and closer than 5 meters in front of them, and paragraph 12.5 adds that in places where stopping is prohibited, and parking, that is, at the crossing and closer than 5 meters in front of it, cannot be stopped or parked, neither for boarding or disembarking passengers, or to go to the store for 5 minutes, or for any other purpose. At the same time, it is impossible to stop in front of the crossing neither on the edge of the roadway, nor on the roadside. Paragraph 12.1 of the regulations allow stopping and parking it is on these parts of the road, and paragraphs 12.4 and 12.5 establish prohibitions. It is worth noting that on two-way roads, on which stopping and parking is allowed on the left side of the road, it is not allowed to stop closer than 5 meters after the crossing, because for oncoming drivers your car will be located in front of the crossing. Moreover, stopping before the crossing not only endangers pedestrians, but also misleads drivers. After all, paragraph 14.1 of the traffic rules obliges drivers to give way to pedestrians crossing the road at the crosswalk. And paragraph 14.2 adds that if before an unregulated crosswalk stopped or reduced the speed of the vehicle, then the drivers of other vehicles moving in the same direction are also obliged to stop or reduce speed. Thus, if there is a vehicle in contravention of the rules standing in front of the crossing, all other drivers are obliged to slow down or stop to ensure that there are no pedestrians. To make it even stricter and to ensure pedestrian safety, there is also 14.4, which prohibits entering a crosswalk if there is a traffic jam behind the crosswalk that would force the driver to stop at the crosswalk. In fact, it duplicates the prohibition of stopping at a crosswalk for those drivers who try to justify such a stop by traffic conditions. By the way, the same safety of pedestrians is dictated by the prohibition on crosswalks turning and overtaking when stopping. It is also worth considering from what point is counting the very 5 meters from the crossing. According to the traffic rules, the crosswalk must be marked with signs 5.19, 1, 5.19, 2 and, or, markings 1.14, 1 and 1.14, 2, and in the absence of markings the width of the crosswalk is determined by the distance between signs 5.19, 1 and 5.19, 2. That is, if there are markings 5 meters count from it, and if it is not, then from the sign pedestrian crossing. The only exception that allows stopping in front of a crosswalk is a forced stop, i.e., stopping the movement of the vehicle due to its technical malfunction or the danger created by the transported cargo, the condition of the driver, passenger, or the appearance of an obstacle on the road. However, even in case of a forced stop in front of or at a crossing, paragraphs 16.2, 7.1 and 7.2 of the traffic rules oblige the driver to mark the vehicle not only by switching on the emergency alarm, but also by placing an emergency stop sign, and to take measures to bring the vehicle to the designated lane, to the right of the line marking the edge of the carriageway. Based on the above, it is clear that it is possible to stop behind a crosswalk, without maintaining a certain distance to it. However, it is worth considering the condition mentioned above, on two-way roads, where stopping and parking is allowed on the left side of the road. You can stop on the left side only more than 5 meters behind the crosswalk, because for oncoming drivers you are in front of it. Stopping and parking in front of and at a crosswalk is punishable under Parts 3 and 6 of Article 12.19 of the CAO. Part 3 establishes that stopping or parking of vehicles at a crosswalk and closer than 5 meters in front of it, except for a forced stop and AMP, LT, and AMP, GT, shall entail an administrative fine of 1,000 rubles. Well, Part 6 states that committing such a violation in Moscow and St. Petersburg shall entail the imposition of an administrative fine of 3,000 rubles. In conclusion, understanding the rules surrounding stopping and parking at crosswalks is essential for ensuring pedestrian safety and maintaining smooth traffic flow. Remember, It is generally prohibited to stop or park within a certain distance from a crosswalk, as this can obstruct visibility and endanger those crossing the street. Violating these regulations can lead to significant penalties, including fines and points on your driving record. Always be mindful of signage and local laws to avoid unnecessary consequences. By following these guidelines, we can all contribute to safer roadways for everyone. Thank you for watching, and drive safely.